And now, Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Cesar Cornejo.
So far, warm in the Pacific Northwest. We're seeing 80 degrees here in southeast Idaho, 86 degrees so far in Idaho Falls. We're seeing 88 in Pocatello. Jackson, it's slightly cooler. We're sitting at 80 degrees so far, and it's way better than over towards the western part of the state. 93 degrees already in Boise, and it's just going to continue to get warmer as the sun is going to be prevalent. Taking a look at satellite and radar, while there is no real cloud cover, this is going to be the main driver of why we're drying out and creating the right amount of fuel for what we're expecting to see with a fire weather watch that will be issued on Wednesday, really, from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. And throughout the next few days, we're going to have the heat. We're also going to see that there's going to be ignition sources, so lightning, and then also on top of that, we're going to have plenty of wind that can fuel these with some of the thunderstorms that do move in on Wednesday. And taking a look at future tracker for what we can expect to see with those thunderstorms, by the time we get to the 2 o'clock hour, you can see that it starts to make its way into the central mountains and also into the eastern Magic Valley. But by the time we get towards the dinner time hour, that's where it becomes more widespread, and that's going to be the real time where we're going to have to keep an eye out for some lightning that can strike and create issues. And because our environment is so dry so far and the atmosphere is dry, these storms will not produce much in the way of rain that reaches the surface. So it's going to be a dry kind of storm. But tonight, we're expecting to see that temperatures are going to remain on the cooler side, where we'll see 50s throughout the Snake River Plain. A few areas will be slightly chillier, similarly to Jackson. 44 degrees will be the low there. We'll see 42 in Stanley. But by the time we get to tomorrow, it's going to be a hot one. We're going to want to make sure that we maybe sit in some AC, find some shade, definitely not from the clouds because it'll be very sunny. So a good place to hang out will be the pool. And for your pool tracker for Tuesday, we're expecting to see that by the time we get to 11 a.m., it'll be 80 degrees. So it'll probably be nice to eat outside, but jumping into the pool by the time we get into the later afternoon will be the perfect time because we'll see a high of 93. And for your southeast Idaho Chevy dealer 7-day forecast, we're expecting to see plenty of sunshine tomorrow, but then that monsoonal moisture brings in the energy and sufficient water to start to create some of these storms that we'll see last until about Friday. But then we start to clear up again for the weekend, and we'll start off next week quite dry. Temperatures will remain into the 90s. We'll see a very similar 7-day forecast for Idaho Falls, where we start to see a wet middle of the week going into the later half. Also, even some on Saturday, where we can see temperatures reaching into the 90s once again. And for the Teton area, we're going to see rain for the second half of the week and going into the beginning of the weekend before we start to dry off going into the next work week. And for the Central Mountains, while we do see plenty of rain throughout the time being for the second half of the week, we do see temperatures start to slightly cool down.